What up, though? Welcome to another episode of the M&B podcast. Today I'm going to be dissecting, or I'm going to be reviewing the March Day 37 Premier League results, and I'm also going to be grading and rating the seasons the Premier League team must have. So, and on that note, I move towards the main point, the main talking point for my video for this week, which is I'm going to be grading the Premier League teams, their performances this season. Where can I start from? Let's start from the champions, Manchester City, their 9th Premier League title, 3-time champions in a row. They were just on top for 32 days this season. Arsenal has been on top for over 200 days, and they still found a way to win the league. The league was never in doubt this season for Manchester City. That's how good they have been. It was never in doubt. A lot of people were actually saying Arsenal was not going to win the league, even when Arsenal was on top and Arsenal were picking up points and it seems unstoppable. People still believe Manchester City was going to win the league, and that's just testament to how good the City team has been, how great of a manager Pep Guardiola is, and how fantastic they've been playing together. Like, they started the season not too well. Everybody was questioning the hunger. I think the changing point for me has to be when they played against Tottenham and they dropped points in the game, and Pep Guardiola was questioning the mentality of his players, if they were hungry enough, if they were tired of winning. And then after the international break in March, they just kicked on, started scoring goals left, right, center. It's just amazing to see like how astonishing and how brilliant Manchester City has been. Winning 12 matches on the spin. Even their second team is beating Chelsea, which is not a surprise right now. Chelsea has been the flop of the season. So Manchester City, I'm going to be grading them A+. It's been from top to bottom. It's been fantastic. They have a goal machine, 52 goals in this season and still counting. They still have 4 games to go. They might actually win the treble, being the second team in the history of the Premier League to win a treble after Manchester United in 1999. So they've been fantastic, and I don't think anybody can take credit of them. Being fantastic, and then Haaland is going to win the Premier League Player of the Season for sure. Having 52 goals in the season, having 36 goals in the league, it's just crazy. No matter how you look at it, it's crazy. It's phenomenal. It's never been done before, and I don't that record is going to take some doing for it to be broken for sure. And moving on from Manchester City, we have to talk about Arsenal. I think it's been a fantastic season for Arsenal, though. Of course, going into the league, nobody gave them a chance. Nobody gave them a chance that they were going to be fighting for the Premier League, or they're going to be top of the table for 200 and something days. I think, though, the way the season panned out is going to be a downer for them. Of course, they will not be the players, the coaches. They will feel disappointed. But honestly, I don't think they should feel disappointed if had a good season. Not forgetting that last season they missed out on the Champions League spots in the last 2 or 3 games to go, and they finished 5th. It's been a down. I know the way the season ended has been a downer for them, but this season they'll be fantastic. People forget that they have the second youngest squad in the Premier League. They have the youngest manager in the Premier League, and the way he has been able to galvanize the team, to bring them together. I think what has affected us now on the long run has been the injuries as well. Injuries to key players at key moments. There was the injury to Gabriel Jesus during the World Cup. Eddie Nketiah stepped up, but I think the major one was the injury to Saliba. I think it has been immense for them this season. His injury, when he got injured, then suddenly the results started to go against the Gunners. So you could see like how immense he has been for them. There were not quality backup for him when he got injured. Odin tried to do his job, but it's not just the Saliba. It's not good as Saliba. Kivwa came in, but you could see that the quality is still lacking there and there. all in all, for me, it's been a good season for us now. Yeah, and I think they will continue to grow stronger and stronger. I think next season they will even improve their squad. They are now in the Champions League for the first time in like over 10 years. So all in all, it's not been bad for us now. Generally, it's not been bad. It's been a good season. It's been a good season for them, and I hope they can actually kick on from that next season. Like when they refresh their squad, get some couple of players in, and push forward as well. So for me, I'm still going to give us now a minus. I'm going A minus because they were at the top for so long, and they will be disappointed that they didn't win the league. But if you look at the general picture and context to it, it's been a massive improvement, jumping from fifth to second. Then moving on to Newcastle United, I think that is the story of the season. Newcastle United, Eddie Howe, how brilliant he has been as a manager for them. I think that's the story of the season for me. Like taking Newcastle from where they were 18 months ago, fighting for their lives, trying to stay up, and they are on the verge of qualifying for the Champions League. Just need a single point, and they will be in the Champions League next season. It's like immense job. What a job, and his backroom staff has done. Not forgetting that they've not even signed a lot of players as people has envisaged that we're going to sign. They've done their business smartly. Brought in Isak, brought in Botman, brought in quality players, but not astronomical amount of money that people expected them to. Sign players that fit into their style, not just signing players, big name players that people thought they were going to be signing. I think it's been amazing for Newcastle. It's amazing to see their growth this season. They did a fantastic job. Bruno Guimaraes in the midfield, Kieran Trippier right back, Bootsman, Cher, Wheelock, Troy Linton, Bond, Nick Pope, Isak, Wilson. They've been fantastic all around. Almiron, even like Sam Maximan can't get game time again in the Newcastle team. So you could see for sure like how good they've been, and what the job Eddie Howe has done. And this is happy times for Newcastle United fans. So for me, honestly, if I'm to vote for my Premier League manager of the season, it has to be Eddie Howe, given the kind of job he has done for sure. Then moving on to, I'm going to be grading Newcastle, definitely A plus, definitely. Then moving on to Manchester United, it's been a good season as well for Erik ten Hag, a new manager. The first season in the Premier League, adapting to the league quick enough. Had a lot of issues, the Ronaldo issue, the Greenwood issue underneath. Players missed out through injuries. Not getting the players that he wanted in the January transfer window. Marcus Rashford getting his form back. It's been an amazing season generally for Manchester United. Won the Carabao Cup, already in the final of the FA Cup. So more silverwares could still be on the way. Some quality signings, improve the players. Player back to the Champions League. It's been a good season generally for Manchester United, and it's been a big positive and amazing season for Manchester United. I think their season has already been a good season, but if they win the FA Cup, it's going to move from a good season to a great season. So for me right now, I'm going to be giving them a B plus. But if they win the FA Cup, for sure, it's going to be A plus, 2 titles in his first season as manager of Manchester United, qualifying for the Champions League. I don't think nothing can top that. Then moving down, we have Liverpool. If I was making this video 6 weeks ago, I would say what an awful season that's been for Liverpool. I think it's still an awful season for them, but they've been able to redeem their season in a way. At least now they are not out of Europe altogether. They have the Europa League to fight for. I think they started the season okay. Then in the middle of the season, they fell away due to injuries. A lot of players got injured. And the team was all over the place. Defensively, they were poor. They couldn't get goals in attack. And they just looked like a shadow of themselves. But recently, I think since March, they've been picking up wins. They were on 6 wins in a row until they lost their last game against Aston Villa. So it's not been the best season for Liverpool. Of course, missing out on the Champions League, it's going to affect them in trying to like get players in, attract players, the right players into the team. But they've shown that when their players are fit and their players they are on form, Liverpool could still compete for the titles. So I expect them next season. I expect them next season to kick on, to get some players in, and go back to the Liverpool, and start challenging for titles. Then moving on to Brighton, what a job Roberto De Zerbi has done. It's so crazy because Brighton started the season so well under Graham Potter before he moved to Chelsea, and nobody thought they were going to see a manager that was going to top what Graham Potter has been able to do for them. But Roberto De Zerbi just came in and they just kicked on, and he just took what Graham Potter has done and he just like put his own blueprint on it, and he just moved them from strength to strength. They've had a fantastic season. I think if Eddie doesn't win the Premier League Manager of the season, then the second option for me has to be Roberto De Zerbi. Make sure that Brighton has qualified for Europe no matter what. It could be the Conference League, it could be the Europa League, but they've qualified for Europe for the first time in their history. What a job he has done! What a revelation! Another first-time manager in the Premier League, and he has been able to improve the players. Evan Ferguson, Levi Colwill, Cross, McAllister, Caicedo, Stupinian. He's done a fantastic job, and it's great times for Brighton fans. It's great time for Brighton fans. A plus for sure. Aston Villa as well. What the season was going from bad. They were having a very terrible season under Steven Gerrard. Then in came Emery in December, started picking up wins, and what the job Emery has been able to do. Now they are sitting pretty in the top 10. Honestly, if they had started the season under Emery as the manager, maybe they might have been in Europe this season. But it's high positive. It's been a positive season for them from December. Emery has come in, has given the team pattern of plays. It's shown them how they want to play, and they've been following him. It's been a fantastic season for them, I think, from given where they were, because they were outside of the bottom three on just goal difference when Emery took charge, and now they are staying pretty in the 8th position. So it's been a great season for them. I'm going to give them an A plus for sure. Then Brentford as well, another team, another manager that have identity. They keep doing what they do. They keep churning out good results season in, season out. They know who they are. They don't pretend to be what they are not. They have their game plan. Ivan Toney in attack has been fantastic. Though I think it's going to be a big miss for them. The 8 month ban that he just had on gambling, I think he's still going to appeal. But if they'll be missing Ivan Toney for 8 months, that's a big miss for sure. But they've had another fantastic season. Thomas Frank, I feel sooner rather than later he's going to get a higher job. I think a higher job opportunity, maybe in the top 6 club like Graham Potter had. So hopefully he can translate his success from Brentford to a top 6 team. But he has done a fantastic job this season again. Ivan Toney in attack, Mbeumo in attack. David Raya has been a revolution this season. I think he's going to be moving to a top 6 team at the end of the season. Their midfield in defense, Ben Mee has been exceptional as well. They've had a very good season. Same with Fulham as well. Marco Silva, first season back in the Premier League. They did differently this time around. Didn't get a lot of players like it did the last time. Got a few players in experienced players, Premier League proven players. Alexander Mitrovic, there was a lot of doubts if he could replicate his goals in the Championship in the Premier League, and he has just gone on to do that, step up, get goals. Playing Pania has to be one of the best signings of the season. He has been immense for them, like winning in the out of the defense, winning possessions, tackles, interceptions, breaking up play, and then starting up play for them. It's been an amazing season from Fulham. I don't think anybody expected them to be this higher up in the table like they have been. So all the kudos and all respect is given to Marco Silva. For sure, like moving on to the bottom of the table, we have to talk about Crystal Palace. How they were just there and there, and how it seems like they were already getting into the murky relegation battle until Roy Hodgson came in. Everybody was not impressed. I wasn't impressed even when Patrick Vieira was sacked. I thought like Patrick Vieira had enough to keep them in the league, but Roy Hodgson has since Roy Hodgson came, they've gone even from strength to strength. They seem to bizarrely they seem to even play more attacking football under Roy Hodgson, get more goals. It seems to like has allowed the players let the players off track, and they've been getting quality game time. They've been playing. Olise has been starting. Eze has been starting. The boys have been in form. They've been on fire. They've been playing good football. It's just amazing to see like Roy Hodgson in his coming out of retirement for the second time and getting Crystal Palace to play fantastic football and keeping them in the league, which is their main objective. From Crystal Palace, we have to talk about Chelsea. Where do I start? From everything that could go wrong, went wrong for Chelsea this season, starting from August, Thomas Tuchel and the abysmal preseason they had, a lot of signing a lot of players into the team, not selling players. New the first season of a new ownership under a new ownership group that had no idea of football. There was no sporting director signing players. The players didn't perform. Then they had a manager that they didn't see eye to eye with. Let go of a great manager in Thomas Tuchel, brought in Graham Potter, and the season just went from bad to worse. A lot of injuries to key players, a lot of abysmal performances from players. Couldn't get a win, couldn't get good performances in, losing game right, left, and center against everybody. Then in January, transfer window came in, signed a bunch of new players as well, without getting rid of the ones that were there already. A lot of players, having 34 players in the squad. Dressing room is crowded. The manager doesn't seem to be able to get the best out of the players. It's just been an abysmal season for Chelsea generally. Got the manager sacked, had another interim manager for a match, then he's let go. Then Frank Lampard is back. Frank Lampard for me has to be like the worst manager in the history of the Premier League. He has only won one game in his last 16 matches as a manager. He has only won one game out of the 9 games he has managed Chelsea this season. Drawn one, won one, and lost 7. Abysmal results from Frank Lampard. There's nothing to say. Like all I can just say is it's been an abysmal season for Chelsea. Everything we've said, everything, and then Haaland has the same amount of goals this season in the Premier League as Chelsea as a whole. It's been abysmal. I think every Chelsea fans is going to just wants the season to end. For me, the amount of money spent, over 600 million euros spent in the summer transfer window. Chelsea spent more money than La Liga, than the French Ligue 1 and Italian Serie A combined in January transfer window. So it just shows all in all how abysmal Chelsea season has been. So it has to be an F for sure. Then Bournemouth has had a fantastic season. The job Gary O'Neill has done has been fantastic. Nobody expected him to be able to save Bournemouth. I think Bournemouth were one of those teams that everybody felt they were going to get relegated for sure. And in January, brought in a couple of players, did a good job. I think he got the job on the back of a 9-0 drop being that he got from the hands of Liverpool. And the abysmal press conference Scott Parker had after the game, that the quality in his squad was not good enough to play in the Premier League. And Gary O'Neill came in and he has been able to save the players, save them, with a month to go in the league. It's been amazing. I think that's another candidate for the Premier League manager of this season for sure. And definitely you have to give them an A plus because everybody wrote them off. Especially I did as well. I thought they were going to get relegated and they are staying in the Premier League. Wolves as well was the same for Wolves. Started the season abysmally under Bruno Lage. Got sacked. Brought in Julian Lopetegui, and what a job he has done keeping them in the league, keeping them afloat. And it has been immense as well. Amazing job for them. Like, not forgetting that they signed a striker, Kalajdzic, who got injured in the first game of the season and he has missed throughout the whole season. Got in a old Diego Costa because they had no chance, they had no option, couldn't get goals. But all in all, they've still been able to win games and to keep themselves in the league. and not forgetting they had a lot of injuries as well. Then they have to talk about Nottingham Forest. They did the opposite of Fulham, brought in a lot of players. I think 25 players or 24 players. Um, the season didn't start well for them. The manager couldn't get, as expected. The manager did not know his first 11, because when you sign in 25 new players, like how are you going to be able to tell who is your best players? They were unable to get wins then, but their own form was amazing, was immense for them. They've been able to pick up points against Manchester City at home, beat Liverpool, picked up a point against Chelsea, beat Arsenal. I think they lost against Tottenham and Manchester United, but by that they've been able to pick up points against the top six teams. Yeah, the traditional top six teams at home. So, and Taiwan winning has been immense for them. Like, especially at the back end of this season, he has 5 goals in his last 3 games against Chelsea and Arsenal, and against Chelsea and Arsenal. I think that shows how immense he has been. At Southampton, he has been immense for them. Stephen Cooper, there was a lot of time this season the fans were people were calling for him to get sacked, and the owner persisted with him, stayed with him, and now they are reaping the fruit of the labor, keeping them in the league. And for me, I'm going to be rating their season a B, because they achieved their aim of just staying in the Premier League. Then moving on from Nottingham Forest, I have to talk about West Ham. Given the level of performance and level of result they've been able to attain for the past few seasons, especially the last 2 seasons, fighting for the Champions League spot and finishing the Europa League spot for the past 2 seasons, they've done a good job. But this season it's not been a very good season for them. Given the fact that they brought in a new players, a lot of players, brought in a striker from Sassuolo, Gianluca Scamacca, thought he was going to be like their main man, but he has proved to be like a flop. They did well in Europe, but they've had an abysmal season in the Premier League. Couldn't get wins, but finally they are safe now. So all in all, I think they are in the first European final, the first final in their history in 35 years. So hopefully, when they win the Conference League, their season is going to move from a D to definitely to a B, because if they win the Conference League, they automatically qualify for the Europa League. So they win it, they have a silverware, and they qualify for Europe. So automatically their season moves from a D to definitely to a B. So moving on, we have to talk about like Leicester and Everton and Leeds United. These are 3 big teams, and they've all had abysmal season. For Leeds United, the season started all wrongly with JC Marsh. The players didn't seem to understand the style of play. There was a lot of back and forth, a lot of unrest in the dressing room. Got sacked. Avi Gracia came in, took reins, and he didn't do any good. It has been awful. Then they brought in Big Sam with 4 games to go to try and save their season. Their season ending is hanging by the thread, because they are in the bottom half, but there's still a game to go. It's going to be a straight out fight between Everton and Leeds United for the 18th position, or for the 17th position, I must say. Whoever wins their last game of the season, I think if Everton wins, Everton stays up. If Everton drop point and Leeds United win, Leeds United stays up. So it's going to be, I think that is the only thing to fight for that is remaining in the Premier League going into the last game of the season. Leicester City are virtually relegated, in my opinion. Southampton are relegated already. I don't even know what happened to Leicester City. Like, given the fact what they've been able to achieve, they've won the Premier League, won the FA Cup, won the Community Shield, played in the European semi-finals. It's just so sad to see them it's just so sad to see them having a tough time, and they might actually be getting relegated for the first time since they came back up in 2014-15 season. It's just so sad to see Leicester City going down. They're already an established Premier League team. They've been fantastic, but I think they are paying for their lack of investment into the squad. They've been virtually having the same team for the past 4 seasons, having a lot of players that have lost form, having a lot of players that don't want to be there, and having not giving the manager enough quality to work with. So I think it's just time has caught up with them, and it's just sad to see they'll be relegated. So I'm going to be giving their season an F for sure. So I'm saying it's season F for sure. They shouldn't have let Rafael Aswell to go, and they spent their transfer window signing a lot of young players. They should have added experience, and they are. And then who sacks Rafael also not to and get in Nathan Jones, a manager that was sacked at Luton Town. I think that just says everything about how awful Southampton City has been. So deservedly, they are getting relegated, and I know they have a couple of quality players that the top teams in the Premier League will be willing to take off them. Of course, their captain James Ward-Prowse and Romeo Lavia, and of course their goalkeeper Bazuno, and not forgetting Kyle Walker-Peters. So all in all, it's been a torrid season for them, and hopefully they can bounce up right back in, because Southampton has given us a lot of quality moments in the Premier League. They've produced a lot of quality players in the Premier League, likes of Van Dijk, Mane, Lovren, Chamberlain. So it's so sad to see them leave. So all in all, that's my rating for every Premier League team this season. That's my grade in how their season has gone. If you disagree or if you agree with my grade, put your comments down in the comment section. Grade yours as well, and I'll be looking through that, and hoping the conversation continues. Until I come your way next time, I remain myself, Madiba. Peace out.